Hello and good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Waterloo Columbus Baseball from Columbus Catholic High School in Waterloo. I'm David Warrington, and tonight on 1650 The Fan, we'll have a varsity baseball matchup between the visiting Wapsie Valley Warriors and the host Waterloo Columbus Sailors. The Warriors come into tonight's matchup with a record of 1-2 so far on the year. They won their season opener against Crestwood 10-0, but fell to Dyke New Hartford at home on Monday 13-6, and lost a road game to South Winneshiek last night 6-1. The Sailors come into this game with a record of 2-4 on the season. They swept the tournament at Riverfront Stadium on Monday, winning games 2-0 and 9-2, but fell on the road to Dyke New Hartford last night 8-5. These two teams last met up last year on June 15th here in Waterloo. Columbus took the first game of the doubleheader 16-6, while Wapsie Valley took the nightcap 4-3. We're going to take a quick break to hear from some of our great sponsors, and when we come back, we'll hear comments from Waterloo Columbus baseball coach Bob Ettringer. Stay tuned. You're listening to Waterloo Columbus Baseball pregame show on 1650 The Fan.
Welcome back to the Waterloo Columbus Baseball pregame show here on 1650 The Fan. Recently, Bob Ettringer, the new head baseball coach for the Sailors, was kind enough to join the Fan to talk about his team. Here's how Coach Ettringer feels about the maturity level of his senior heavy club.
We're a very mature team, so the guys have been used to our coaching style. Our baseball IQ is very high. We have a big senior class this year, 10 seniors. A large majority of those haven't had significant time, so we're looking at the best way to get them involved in the lineup, whether it be platoon situations, bunting, any way that we can get them involved.
While he is familiar with the program as a former assistant coach, this is Coach Ettringer's first year at the helm of the Sailor baseball program. Here's what he had to say about what he hopes to instill into his team.
We're really focusing on having fun this year. Like I said, a lot of kids haven't got that playing time. We want them to have a good time. We want to get them involved, see if they can step up. With an older team, I think a big emphasis is coming to the end of their career. I think they're realizing that the team is more important than your stats. So more of that, more about we, not me.
Coach Ettringer also discussed a couple of key players for the Sailors this season in the form of Nick Merrifield and Carter Gallagher.
I think Nick is going to be our ace on the mound, and kind of to make that next step, I think we're going to try and get him involved defensively too. Using him on the mound as much as we anticipate, do we need to give him some nights off and move some other kids in and give them some opportunities? Carter is the ultimate competitor, whether it's on the basketball court, the football field, or baseball. He's going to give you 120% all the time. And that really goes well with our other guys to see how much preparation he has, how much hard work he has. So that goes a long way. He's our leader. Obviously, this year he'll be starting at shortstop for us, but we're going to try and use him a little more on the mound, maybe in kind of a closer's role, get him in, try and shut the door. So, yeah, he'll be very active.
Thanks again to Coach Ettringer for taking the time to join the Fan to discuss his Sailor team. We're going to take another break, and when we return, our pregame show rolls along as we take a look at the starting lineups for tonight's contest. You're listening to Waterloo Columbus Baseball on 1650 The Fan.
The starting lineups for both teams. First, we'll take a look at the starters for Wapsie Valley here tonight. They will lead off with Kane Schmitz. The junior will play second base. He's batting .400 on the young season, 2 of 5 with an RBI. Austin Klink will bat second. He is going to be starting on the mound this evening. The junior is 2 for 2 this season. He's 3 for 6. Has started all 2 games they've had. And this is his first pitching appearance of the season. Jacob Shore will bat third and play right field. Shore, a sophomore, batting .429. Does have 1 RBI sprinkled in. Tucker Ladeberg will bat fourth and catch. Ladeberg on the season, batting .167 at 1 of 6 with 3 strikeouts. Justice Kelly, the shortstop, is going to bat fifth. Kelly is batting .143 at 1 of 7 with 1 RBI on this season. Trayton Sauerbray will be batting sixth. He's going to play center field today. So far this season, Sauerbray is batting 0. He's 0 for 2, and this is his second game of the year. Chase Ackerman, the third baseman, will bat in the 7th spot. Ackerman is a freshman, batting .400 at 2 of 5 with an RBI so far. And then Benton Hyde will bat in the 8th spot, playing left field. Hyde is .200 at 1 of 5 with 2 RBIs, which is tied for the team lead. And batting in the 9th spot, the first baseman, Keegan Brown. Brown is a junior. He is batting .200 this season, 1 of 5 with 1 RBI. And now let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Columbus Sailors here today. Thomas Steele will lead off. Steele is going to be playing center field. The sophomore is batting .333 at 5 of 15 with a team-high 2 doubles. Miles Gardner will bat second. Gardner is going to be playing right field. The freshman is batting .211, 4 of 19 on the season, 3 RBIs, and Gardner did have his first home run of the year last night in the loss to Dike New Hartford. Carter Gallagher bats third. The shortstop is batting .500, 9 of 18 to lead the team. Gallagher will be playing his college baseball at Iowa Western next year. And then in the 4 spot is the starting pitcher, Connor Knutson. Knutson is a junior, batting .421, 8 of 19, 3 RBIs, 1 double, and the team's lone triple, making his second start on the mound. Last time he went 2 1/3, took the loss, and had some trouble with his command. 1 strikeout to 5 walks, so he'll look to shore that up here tonight. Caden Hartz bats fifth, the left fielder. He's batting .150 at 3 of 20 with 1 RBI. Patrick Underwood will bat sixth, the third baseman for Waterloo Columbus, starting his 6th game of the year, batting 2 of 14 for .143 with 1 RBI. Batting in the 7th spot will be the catcher, Alex Purdy. So far this season, Purdy batting .133, 2 of 15, 3 RBIs on the season for Alex Purdy. Then Blake Ettringer bats 8th. He's the designated hitter. Ettringer is a senior, has yet to pick up a hit this year. Starting his 3rd game of the year, he's 0 for 3 with a strikeout so far. And batting in the 9th spot is going to be Nick Merrifield, the second baseman. The sophomore is batting .250 at 2 of 8, 1 RBI, 3 strikeouts on the season. Then starting in the field for the DH Ettringer is the first baseman, Eli Morrow. Morrow making just his 4th appearance of the season and start number 2 on the season for Eli Morrow, the senior, starting at first base here tonight. Let's take a look at the sponsors that help make this broadcast possible. I have to give a big shout out to all of the great sponsors: Community Buick GMC, Electronic Engineering, Air Services, CDFS Financial Strategies, and the Waterloo Columbus Booster Club. None of this would be possible without them. So very much appreciative of their support of Waterloo Columbus Athletics here on 1650 The Fan. Now taking a look at the field dimensions here tonight in Waterloo. It's 324 feet out to left, 342 to left center, 378 to dead center, 328 out to right center, and right field is 302 feet. These teams have played several times in the past several years, and it's been dominated by the Sailors. Since 2014, they've played 19 times. Columbus leads that series 16 wins to 3 losses. Columbus won 12 straight from June 2nd of 2014 until July of 2017, and that included a 15-0 win back in 2015. But Wapsie Valley did win the last one when these teams played back in June of last year. It was a 16-6 win in Game 1 for the Sailors, but a 4-3 win for the Warriors and the nightcap of that doubleheader. They're announcing starting lineups here in Waterloo, so we'll take one more break. When we come back, we'll have first pitch between the Sailors and the Warriors. Stay tuned. You're listening to Waterloo Columbus Baseball on 1650 The Fan. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Waterloo Columbus Baseball here on 1650 The Fan. I'm David Warrington here in Waterloo. Sailors playing host to the Wapsie Valley Warriors. Sailors come in with a record of 2-4. Warriors are 1-2. It will be Connor Knutson getting the start on the mound for the Sailors. The right-hander is making his second start. He's 0-1. Had a strikeout and 5 walks in that first start. And then around defensively for the Sailors, it'll be Hartz, Steele, and Gardner in the outfield left to right. The infielders are Underwood at third base. Carter Gallagher, the Iowa Western commit, is playing shortstop. Nick Merrifield is at second base, and Eli Morrow getting the start over at first base. Knutson's the usual first baseman, but with Knutson doing the pitching here tonight, Morrow is getting the start over there at first. It'll be Alex Purdy behind the plate doing the catching. And as I said, Connor Knutson on the mound getting the start here tonight. We're just about to get this one underway as in steps the leadoff hitter for the Warriors, Kane Schmitz. He's batting .400 so far this year, 2 of 5 with an RBI. As first pitch of the ball game is going to be high for a ball, and we're underway here at 5:41 this very pleasant Friday evening. 1 ball, no strikes. Here's the second pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 1. Knutson gets the count evened up. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here comes the 1-1. That one's put into play. High pop up. Going back towards shallow left field. Gallagher's going to range all the way over there and make the grab. Great range from the shortstop Gallagher to catch that one in short left field. And the first batter of the ball game is retired, as that'll bring in Austin Klink to step into bat for Wapsie Valley. He's batting .500, which is best in the team. 3 hits in his 6 at-bats so far. Also a team best 2 RBIs. He'll bat in the second spot. Klink doing the pitching here today. That one's roped out towards center field, but the play is going to be made out there by Steele. And quickly 2 up and 2 down, as it's a good start for the Sailors. As in steps Jacob Shore. He'll bat with 2 away and nobody on. Shore, the 3-hole hitter, batting .429, 3 of 7 so far this year. As a plane flies overhead here in Waterloo. That pitch is going to be in there for a called strike. Nice spot by Knutson. No balls, 1 strike. That one's watched and it misses low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Shore's a sophomore for the Sailors. Batting from the right side. Swings at that one, chopped over to shortstop. Gallagher's there. Throws over to first, that's in time, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for the Sailors. Nothing going for Wapsie Valley, and the Sailor bats will be up in the bottom of the first after this. Stay tuned. You're listening to Waterloo Columbus Baseball on 1650 The Fan. Welcome back to Waterloo Columbus Baseball here on 1650 The Fan. Just 7 pitches is all it took for the Sailors to get out of the top of the first. Now they'll go to bat here in the bottom half of inning number 1. It's Austin Klink getting the start for Wapsie Valley. The junior is making his first pitching appearance of the season. Around the field defensively for Wapsie Valley, they've got Hyde, Sauerbrei, and Shore left to right in the outfield. Ackerman's playing third base. Kelly is at short. Schmitz is at second base. Brown is over at first. It is Ladberg behind the plate doing the catching. And on the mound is Klink for Wapsie Valley. The Sailors will lead off with Steele, followed by Gardner and Gallagher. And Knutson is the 4-hole hitter if the Sailors get there. Stepping in to begin the bottom half of the first for Wapsie Valley, for Waterloo Columbus, will be Thomas Steele, the sophomore, making his 5th start of the season here in game number 7 for Waterloo Columbus. Steele batting .333, 5 of 15, bats from the right side. Klink throws with the right hand as that first pitch is fouled back into the fence. No balls, 1 strike. Steele wearing number 23 for the Sailors. Sailors wearing all white with green trim and numerals. That one just catches the inside portion of the zone. Pitch just missed. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the 1-1. That one's put into play over to shortstop. Kelly's there. Fields throws to first. Throw is going to be in time, but it pulled him off the bag. And Steele is aboard at first base on an infield hit to begin the ball game. That'll bring up Miles Gardner. He'll bat from the right side as well. Gardner had a home run in the loss last night at Dyke New Hartford. Just 1 of 2 home runs so far from the Sailors. Steele stands over at first base. Drives that first one, going towards left field. It is going to go foul. Put a good pop into it, but it was a foul ball down the left field line. So it was just a loud foul ball. No balls and a strike. Gallagher will dig in to try it again, Gardner. Looks over to Coach Ettringer to get his sign. Now digs in. No balls and a strike. Here's the 0-1. Runner is going. Steele is taking second, and Steele is safe with the steal. He slides in safely to second base. So now runner in scoring position here with nobody out in the the bottom half of inning number 1. Steele was in there in plenty of time over at second base. No balls and 2 strikes is the count now. Here comes the 0-2 to Gardner. Klink the pitcher. That one's going to hit him right in the hip, and he will get to head down to first base so the first 2 batters of the ball game reach. And that'll bring in the dangerous bat of Carter Gallagher. Gallagher batting .500 so far this season, 9 of 18, 6 RBIs, 2 doubles, 1 home run. All of those are at least tied for the team lead, if not outright the lead. As I mentioned, Gallagher is committed to play baseball at Iowa Central next season. Quite the important player for the Sailors. He's got runners on first and second, nobody out. Here comes the first pitch. And that one's going to just catch the inside part of the strike zone. Nothing Gallagher could have done with that pitch, but it does catch the umpire's zone for strike one. Klink shakes off his catcher. Now he'll look to pitch. Now he turns to second, throws there, but it's dropped and was not in time anyways. It won't get away. The shortstop, Kelly, is there to field it before anything happens, but nonetheless, still safe at second base is Steele. No balls and a strike is the count on Gallagher. Here's the 0-1. That's going to miss outside. Evens the count up, 1 ball, 1 strike. Gallagher batting from the right side as well. Steele taking a nice big lead over there at second. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Gallagher took a nice cut at that one, but comes up empty. 1 ball, 2 strikes on the senior shortstop. One ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And the first out of the side is recorded via the Gallagher strikeout. Klink gets his first strikeout of the ball game. And that'll bring in Connor Knutson. Knutson doing the pitching today and batting cleanup for Waterloo Columbus. He's batting .421 so far this year, 8 of 19. 3 RBIs, a double, and the lone triple as they'll throw over to second base, but Steele is back in time. So Knutson will have to wait just a bit longer to take that first pitch. Gardner over at first base. Steele is at second base as Knutson digs in for the first pitch of his at-bat. Watches that one, but it's going to catch the inside portion of the plate. It appears this umpire is going to be calling a lot of inside strikes to right-handed hitters, so we'll see if the Sailors can adjust to that. Knutson digs in. No balls, 1 strike. Still 2 runners on as they're going to throw over to Steele again. He dives in this time, but he dives in safely. Keeping an eye on the speedy Steele over there at second base. He already stole second. Connor digs in for the 0-1. Here's the pitch. Swings at it. There's a drive out towards right field, but it's going to go foul down the right field line. It almost cleared the fence over there in right, but did go foul. 302 feet out there to right field in this ballpark here in Waterloo. So now no balls, 2 strikes. Still 1 away here in the bottom of the first. Warriors wearing their home black uniforms, or their visiting black uniforms, excuse me, with gold and white trim, white pants with pinstripes. Good portion of the players have pulled up socks, and those are black. That one's put in play, but it's going to go foul. That one down the third base line. Knutson doing a good job of staying alive. As the count remains 0-2. Knutson's fought off some pretty good pitches from Klink. Klink making his first start of the season, first pitching appearance of the season, in fact. As we'll try the 0-2 again. 1 away here in the bottom of the first, and now they're going to throw over to second base. Steele dives back, and does so safely. That one's a little bit closer than the other ones, though. Steele is safe over at second base. They're keeping a very close eye on him. Don't want him going anywhere. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. That one's outside. Knutson holds back on his swing. Check swing is in time, and that's going to be ball 1. Nice at-bat here from Knutson. Fell behind 0-2 early. Had the long foul ball, but has stayed alive. Holds back his swing on that one. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here comes the 1-2, and that's going to hit off the knob of his bat, I believe. So that will be a foul ball. And he will stay alive in the at-bat. Count remains at 1-2. Great fight in this AB from Knutson. Runners on first and second for the Sailors, one away. Klink checks on Steele over at second. Now focuses on the plate. Pitch is going to be low and inside. Ball 2. Klink says, my bad. Appears to have missed his spot on that one. 2 balls, 2 strikes now is the count. Knutson is the cleanup hitter for the Sailors. Batting here with 2 on, including 1 runner in scoring position. Waits on that one, sends it over to shortstop. Kelly Fields gets the out. No, the ball is misplayed, and that's going to play to run as Steele's going to come in to score on the air, and advancing to third base is Gardner. So nobody's out, and the Sailors have scored the first run of the ball game. They lead it 1-0 as Kelly, the shortstop, fielded, tried to go to second for the start a potential double play. Instead of a double play, nobody's out. Remains just 1 out, and the Sailors lead it 1-0. Looks like there's going to be a courtesy runner over at first base. Parker Kjeldsen is going to enter the ball game and run. So Kjeldsen over at first base. He's got pretty good speed. Was in the 4x1 that Waterloo Columbus took to state. Runners on first and third after Steele scored on that error. Gardner also advanced. The batter is Caden Hartz. He squares the bunt, pulls back. Kjeldsen's running over to second base and does so without a throw. He will take second base uncontested. Here comes the 1-0. That one's looked at, and it misses for a ball. Good hitters count here for Caden Hartz. 2 balls, no strikes. And here's the 2-0. Puts that one in play over to Kelly at shortstop. Fields. He's going to throw to first. The throw is not going to be in time. No, the umpire says he's safe. And that will score another run. It would have scored a run either way. But now it scores a run without the out. Great hustle down that first baseline by Hartz. And they're still just 1 away, and the Sailors lead it 2-0. That'll bring up Patrick Underwood, the third baseman for the Sailors, digs in. Runners on the corners. Still just 1 away. Really nice first inning of play here from the Sailors. They've only had the 1 out via the Gallagher strikeout. They've already put 2 runs on the board. Underwood tries to check his swing. It's going to be a called strike. No balls, 1 strike is the count on Underwood, the sophomore, getting his 6th start of the season here in game number 7, batting 143, 2 of 14, does have 1 RBI. Hartz is taken off for second base. Throw goes to third, and Kjeldsen dives back in safely. So Hartz moves up 90 feet. Hartz is at second. Kjeldsen is at third. And there's 2 in scoring position for Underwood. No balls and 2 strikes on him. Here's the 0-2. That one misses outside for a ball. Good eye from Underwood to hold off. Now the count moves to 1-2. Here's the 1-2 from Klink. Swung on, right back into the fence for a foul ball. The count will stay at 1-2. Again, Underwood continues what we've seen so far in this inning of Steelers putting together really nice at-bats, fighting off pitches and staying alive. 1 ball and 2 strikes as Klink is going to step off and refocus. Now he steps back on, and Underwood digs in for the 1-2. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. That's going to be in there for a called strike 3. And Underwood goes down looking for the second out of the side. That'll bring up the catcher, Alex Purdy. The senior's batting 133 this season. 2 hits in his 15 at-bats, 3 RBIs. Purdy will bat from the left side. First Sailor to do that so far. And he will do so with runners on second and third, leading 2-0. Watches the first pitch. Misses outside for ball 1. Good RBI chance here for Purdy with 2 runners in scoring position. Here's the 1-0. Swings that one, sends a liner up the middle. Diving effort from Kelly, can't get there. That'll plate 2. As Kjelsen scores, Hartz also scores. 2 RBI base hit for Alex Purdy. And the Sailors lead it 4-0 here in the first inning. Really nice piece of hitting there. Just sent a line drive over the outreaching glove of the shortstop, Kelly. And it's 4-0 Waterloo Columbus, as we're going to have a courtesy runner here for the Sailors. I believe that is Ben Howe in to run for the pitcher. Ben Howe entering the ball game, his 4th appearance of the season. Of course, as a courtesy runner, does not count against the catcher Purdy for exiting the ball game. He can just come right back in to play his position in the top half of inning number 2. First pitch to Ettringer is a called strike as he digs in with 2 away. That pitch misses outside for a ball. Blake Ettringer, a senior, hasn't batted much, just playing in his 3rd game. 0 for 3 so far this season, does have 1 strikeout. Chops that one, but it's going to go foul. Count moves to 1-2. Ettringer, the designated hitter today for the first baseman, Eli Morrow, batting 8th. So the 9-hole hitter for the Sailors is on deck. They've almost batted around here in the bottom half of the first. 1-2 count. That one's put in play. Over to second base. It's going to be a tough play for Schmidt, so he throws in time, and it's in plenty of time. And that retires the side, but not before. It's 4 runs on the board for Waterloo Columbus. They do so via 3 hits and an error. 31 pitches thrown from Klink, and they lead it 4-0. Stay tuned. You're listening to Waterloo Columbus Baseball on 1650 The Fan. The Sailors put 4 runs across in the bottom half of the first to take a 4-0 lead into the second inning. It only took Knutson 7 pitches to get out of the inning last time. Now he'll face 4, 5, and 6 in the Wapsie Valley lineup. The catcher, Tucker Latteberg, will lead off the inning for the Warriors. Cleanup hitter didn't get a chance to bat in the top half of the first. Watches that first pitch, and it is a called strike. Latteberg batting 167, 1 of 6 so far this year. He struck out 3 times. Batting from the right side, as that one's going to get him. So the first runner of the ball game for the Warriors reaches via the hit by pitch. And he'll make his way down to first base. Leadoff runner is aboard for the Warriors. Looks like they're going to have a courtesy runner over there at first base. Latteberg is the catcher. And it will be Manny Hubner entering the ball game, running at first base for Wapsie Valley. The shortstop, Justice Kelly, digs in for Wapsie Valley. The junior is batting 143 this year, 1 of 7. Throw over to first base to try to get Hubner is not in time, and he's back in safely. Knutson keeping an eye on the runner over there at first. Now he'll refocus on Kelly at the plate. Here's the first pitch of the AB. Holds back his swing, but it's going to be a called strike 1. And Knutson works ahead, no balls, 1 strike. Takes a peek over at Hubner. Now squares and comes to the plate. That pitch is just going to miss. Not a bad spot there from Knutson, but does miss for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike is the count on Kelly. Kelly was the one who made the error back in the bottom of the first inning that could have been a double play, instead resulted in the Sailors continuing their inning. As that ball gets away over there at first base from Morrow, but he hustles back and gets it before Hubner can go anywhere. As Knutson threw over to first base to check on Hubner once again. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the 1-1. That one misses high and outside for ball 2. 2 balls and a strike is the count for Kelly. Takes a look at the card out of his back pocket. Takes the instructions from his coach, Tom Jockin, over there at the third base coach's box, and now refocuses on the at-bat. Hubner is running. That one's fouled back, though, so Hubner will have to head back. And the foul ball makes the count 2 balls, 2 strikes, as Hubner jogs back to first base. Two balls, 2 strikes. Nobody out here in the top of the second. Lunges at that one, but it gets away from Purdy. He'll pick it up, throws over to second. And that throw is not in time, so Hubner will advance. But with first base occupied, Kelly is out despite the drop third. So one away.
Now we have the center fielder, number 21.
And that will bring up Trayton Sauerbrey. He'll bat from the right side as well. 0 for 2 so far this season. Did not play in one of their first couple games they have stats in for, as that one's fouled back.
Second base, number 34, Mr. Hubner.
So no balls, 1 strike is the count. Hubner over at second base. That one's going to be fouled out of play. Sauerbrey got a good cut on that one, but sent it foul back towards the street. The count remains no balls 2 strikes. 1 away, runner on second. That is the courtesy runner Hubner over there. As Sauerbrey digs in. Here's the pitch. That one's going to go over the head of Sauerbrey. He ducks out of the way to avoid it. So that will be a ball, evens the count, or moves the count to 1 ball, 2 strikes. Swings at that one. There's a high pop fly. It's going to go foul. Morrow is there, trying to track it down, and he will make the grab in foul territory. Hubner takes a couple steps off second base. He was tagging, but ultimately goes back. Nice play by Morrow to get over there and make the catch in foul ground. And we've got 2 away here in the top of the second. The 7-hole hitter stepping in for Wapsie Valley. That'll be Chase Ackerman, a freshman in the starting lineup. 2 of 5 so far this year with 1 RBI. Ackerman playing third base here today. Swings at the first pitch and misses. Strike 1. Good, healthy cut on that one from Ackerman, but he swings through it. Knutson comes home to the plate. That one's fouled high out of play. Straight back and high or foul ball. Knutson works ahead. No balls, 2 strikes, and a good pitcher's count here. 4-0 lead for the Sailors here in the top of the second. Wapsie Valley is a runner on second with 2 away. As Ackerman holds back his swing there. Nearly went around, but checked his swing. Pitch misses low. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 away here in the second. Knutson checks on Hubner over at second base. Now comes to the plate. Here's the 1-2. That one misses high out of the zone. So Ackerman has fought back in the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes is now the count. He'll dig in for the 2-2 pitch. Here it is. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And the Sailors get out of the inning without any damage. Just the 1 runner reached via the hit-by pitch, but no runs, no hits, and no errors in the inning. 16 pitches from Knutson. And the Sailors lead it 4-0 as we head to the bottom of the second. You're listening to Waterloo Columbus Baseball on 1650 The Fan. 4-0 Sailors here in Waterloo. They lead the Wapsie Valley Warriors as we get set to go here in the bottom half of inning number 2. The Sailors nearly batted around in the top half, or in their first inning, in the bottom of the first. So the 9-hole hitter Nick Merrifield will lead it off. He watches the first pitch. It's in there for a called strike. Merrifield batting .250 so far this year, 2 of 8, 1 RBI, 3 strikeouts, 2 walks. Much like Kajelson, he was also on that 4x1 the Sailors took down to state. So a speedy player here in the bottom of the order for Waterloo Columbus. That pitch misses low and inside for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike on the sophomore Nick Merrifield. Merrifield, the second baseman, batting from the right side. Here's the 1-1. It's a good piece of that one out towards right field. And it's going to be off the glove. And it's going to drop. Merrifield's going to take the big turn, slides in head first. He's safe into second base. And Nick Merrifield leads off the inning with a double. That's a heck of a way to start the inning for Waterloo Columbus as he stands aboard at second base. And that'll bring up the leadoff hitter, Thomas Steele. He bats with a runner on second. So the speedy Nick Merrifield aboard at second base. Thomas Steele digs in. Nobody out here in the bottom of the second. Klink checks on Merrifield, now comes home. That pitch is high to the backstop, and Merrifield will easily make his way over to third base, takes the turn, and he'll retreat back. Just a few pitches into the inning, the Sailors have a runner over at third base with nobody out here in the bottom of the second. Steele 1 for 1 so far on the day. As watches that one, and it's going to miss for a ball. 2 balls and no strikes. That pitch misses inside, and that's going to be ball 3. Steele singled his first time up, and then he stole second, and later came around to score on an error. Now batting with a runner on third. Watches the 3-0 pitch, and it's right down the middle for a strike. Take sign very well may have been on there with a 3-0 count. Now the count moves to 3-1. Here it is. Watches that one, it'll miss. Ball 4. And Steele will make his way down to first base. Runners on first and third to begin the inning for Waterloo Columbus, and that brings in Miles Gardner. Gardner got on base in his first time up, was hit by a pitch. Now he digs in with runners on first and third. Steele at first, Merrifield at third. Here's the pitch. Steele is going to head over to second base, and he's in there without a throw to the base. They threw to the second baseman a few feet in front of the bag. Always interesting to see what the teams go with when there's runners on first and third. Oftentimes don't want to actually throw down to second, otherwise give the runner over at third a good chance to get in there. That pitch is fouled off, so the count moves to 0-2. Miles Gardner digs in, no balls, 2 strikes. 2 runners in the scoring position, nobody out. Here's the 0-2, swung and sends it back foul. So Gardner stays alive. Count remains 0-2 after the foul ball. Gardner, just a freshman, was very good for the Sailor baseball team last year as an 8th grader. Swings at that one. That's going to go foul out of play. So again, he stays alive. Count still 0-2. Klink with the 0-2 delivery. There's a line drive over to second base. It's going to get through. That'll score at least 1. Steele is going to come home, and he will easily score from second. And there's 2 more for the Sailors. They lead it 6-0. Gardner with a line drive that got through into shallow right center field. And it's 6-0 Waterloo Columbus as Carter Gallagher digs in. Still nobody out here in the bottom of the second. Gardner now over at first base. First pitch to Gallagher is a called strike. Gallagher went down swinging in his first at-bat in the previous inning. Here comes the 0-1, and it looks like that one caught a piece of him, and it did. It caught his midsection or perhaps his hip as they'll head down to first base. And that brings up the cleanup hitter, Connor Knutson, as he digs in with runners on first and second and still nobody out. Back in the first inning, Knutson reached on an error. Later came around to score. That one's put into play over to second base. They're going to get Gallagher over at second. And the throw to first is offline. And that will score a run for the Sailors as Gardner comes in to score. Knutson will reach on a fielder's choice as they got the runner over at second. That does score a run as Miles Gardner safely gets into home plate as Knutson will exit the ball game again, and Parker Kjeldsen will be back into the game to courtesy run. Caden Hartz digs in here with 1 out. The speedy Parker Kjeldsen over on first base. First pitch misses for a ball. Klink already up to 48 pitches here in this ball game. Through 1 1/3 innings of work. There's a little pop up into shallow center field. Sauerbrey is there. He will make the grab. And that is the second out of the side. One of the first real tests for the outfield here in this ball game, and Sauerbrey was ready. So 2 away, and that'll bring up the third baseman, Patrick Underwood, with runner Kjeldsen over at first base. 7-0 Sailors. With Kjeldsen heading over to second base. Throw is not in time, and it gets away, but only gets just over the lip of the grass into very shallow right center. So Kjeldsen safely in with a stolen base. Sailor base runners have been very active today. As here comes the pitch. Underwood swings at it. Swing and a miss for a strike. No balls, 2 strikes for Underwood. 2 away here in the bottom of the second. Here's the 0-2, and that's going to be a foul ball. Count will stay put. No balls and 2 strikes for Underwood. The sophomore batting for the Sailors with 2 outs. He struck out looking his first time up. Has 2 strikes here. Reaches out and gets a piece of that one into right field. And Shore is there to make the grab, and that will retire the side. But not before Waterloo Columbus adds 3 more runs. They do so via 2 hits. No errors from the Warriors. 7-0 Waterloo Columbus through 2 innings of baseball. Stay tuned. You're listening to Waterloo Columbus Baseball on 1650 The Fan. We've played 2 here in Waterloo, and it's a 7-0 Sailor lead as we work our way here to the top of the 3rd inning. And into bat to start the 3rd inning for the Warriors of Wapsie Valley will be Benton Hyde. He's the 8-hole hitter, getting his first cuts of the afternoon, or evening, I should say. Hyde, a 200 hitter on the year, 1 of 5. Only 1 Warrior has reached base so far in this contest. Now is via a hit by pitch. That first pitch misses for a ball. Here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss for a strike. Evens the count, 1 ball, 1 strike. Hyde is a junior on this Warrior Baseball Club. 2 RBIs on the season. Swings through that one. 1 ball and 2 strikes now. It's been efficient pitching from Knutson so far, as he'll send the 1-2 home. That one's going to miss low for a ball. Count is evened up at 2-2. Hyde lays off that one low, out of the strike zone with 2 strikes. Here's the 2-2 from Knutson. That one sent right back up the middle on a line, and it'll get into very shallow center field. There's the first base hit of the night for Wapsie Valley, as Hyde sends the liner into shallow center. And the Warriors have their first hit of the contest as we go to the bottom of the batting order for the Warriors. Keegan Brown will bat, the 9-hole hitter, batting 200 this season at 1 of 5, 1 RBI. Brown playing first base for Wapsie Valley today. Hyde aboard over at first. First pitch is going to miss, low and outside for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. As I mentioned, Warriors come into this game with 1 win, 2 losses. Lost to South Winneshiek 6-1 last night, as throw over to first base is not in time and Hyde is safe. Sailors come in 2-4. They lost a very competitive ball game last night in Dyke to the Wolverines of Dyke, New Hartford. 8-5 was the final in that contest, as they'll throw over to Hyde once again. Knutson's throw again not in time. Warriors were 17-19 last year, just a couple games under 500. Lost at Key, who ended up being the state runner-up, 3-1. Lansing Key was the state runner-up in 1A last season, as there's a check swing, but check was not in time, and that's going to be a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike here on the batter, Brown. Again, they're going to check on Hyde. The ball gets away. Hyde's going to get up and make his way over to second base. And he is in there safely. So now runner in scoring position for Wapsie Valley. Nobody out as Hyde stands aboard at second base. The 1-1 home. Watches that one. It's going to miss for a ball. Looked like a pretty good spot, but didn't quite catch the zone. 2 balls, 1 strike is now the count. And now the throw, there's nobody there. As Knutson turned around, tried to throw over to second base, but Gallagher and Merrifield, the shortstop and second baseman, were not there. And so now Hyde stands over at third base. Two balls and a strike is the count as Brown digs in with a runner over on third base now. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 2. Nice pitch there from Knutson. 7-0 Sailor lead here in the top of the third. Nobody out. Here's the pitch. That's going to be a foul ball. Good fight from Brown to stay alive in the at-bat. Brown looking for his second RBI of the season, but he won't get it as he swings through that one and strikes out. That'll be the first out of the side for the Sailors. As we go back to the top of the batting order for Wapsie Valley, Kane Schmitz will dig in. The junior second baseman digs in with the runner on third. Swings at the first pitch, but sends it back foul. 0-1. Schmitz popped out to the shortstop Gallagher in his first at-bat to lead off the ball game. This time bats with a runner 90 feet away. That one's low, but great job back there by Purdy to stop it from going anywhere. And Hyde will stay over there at third base. 1 ball, 1 strike is the count. Warriors trying to get their first run of the night. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That one's put in play. Gallagher will backhand it over at shortstop. Makes a strong throw to first. 1 hops. It's going to be out of the glove of Morrow. I don't think it was in time anyways. And that will put the Warriors on the board. Infield single from Schmitz. And Wapsie Valley has scored. They still trail 7-1, however. As Hyde crosses the plate, Schmitz gets the RBI, his second of the season. And that will bring in the pitcher, Austin Klink, batting with 1 away, or 1 away, and a runner on first base. First pitch misses outside for a ball. 1-0 is the count. Klink lined out to center field. Steele made the play out there last time Klink was up to bat. Here's the pitch. Schmitz is in motion. It's the hit and run, and it's through the glove of Underwood, and it gets into shallow left field. Schmitz won't move any farther. It's a good job by Caden Hartz to back it up. The runner's on first and second now. As in steps Jacob Shore. He will bat with runners on first and second. Watches the first pitch. It misses for a ball. 1-0 is the count. Shore grounded out to shortstop in his first at-bat. Back in the first inning. Knutson comes home. That will just catch the inside corner for a called strike. 1 ball, 1 strike is now the count on Shore. Shore, a sophomore in the starting lineup for Wapsie Valley. Digs in with 2 on, first and second for the Warriors. They trail 7-1. Here's the pitch. There's a drive into center field. Steele is there. He will make the grab. Schmitz is tagging, but he will not go anywhere as he retreats back to first base. Good strong throw from Steele back to Gallagher at shortstop. Saves Schmitz from going anywhere. And there are 2 outs here in the top of the third. In steps Tucker Latteberg. The sophomore catcher will bat with 2 outs. Runners on first and second. Latteberg was hit by the pitch in his first at-bat. Officially 0 for 0 on the day. Here's the first pitch. Swings at it. Sends it over to Gallagher. Slow little roller. He'll make the play. Throw over to first. Nice stretch from Morrow, and that will retire the side. So just the one run comes across for Wapsie Valley despite a couple of Sailor errors. And Waterloo Columbus still leads 7-1 as we go to the bottom of the third. Stay tuned. You're listening to Waterloo Columbus Baseball on 1650 The Fan. We've reached the bottom half of the third here in Waterloo. Warriors put one run across, but they still trail at 7-1. It's been a very good start to the ball game for Waterloo Columbus. They put up 4 runs in the first inning, 3 in the second. And they'll look to continue that offensive firepower here in the bottom of the third. Austin Klink still on the mound for the Warriors. He's thrown 54 pitches already through just 2 innings of work. Ladeberg was the last batter of that last inning for the Warriors, so he's taking a little time to get his gear back on, and now he jogs his way back onto the field. It'll go 7-8-9 in this inning for Waterloo Columbus. Alex Purdy, the catcher, will lead it off. Purdy singled on a line drive to center field his first time up. Then he was courtesy ran for and made his way back into the dugout. Ladeberg throws down, and we're set to go here in the bottom half of inning number 3. The left-handed hitting Alex Purdy will dig in to begin the inning. Sailors leading 7-1. Klink so far in this ball game has given up 7 runs, 4 have been earned, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. As here's the first pitch of the AB. It's going to miss out of the zone for a ball. Here's the 1-0 delivery from Klink. That's going to just catch the outside portion of the strike zone for a called strike. 1 ball, 1 strike now the count on the senior catcher, Alex Purdy. There's the 1-1. That's going to miss outside. Ball 2. Sailors coming off a 21-13 season last year. Finished 3rd place in the east side of the North Iowa Cedar League. 2-4 so far on this season. There's a drive. It's going to be caught on a line over at second base by Schmitz. And Purdy lines out to begin the inning. That'll bring up Ettringer, the designated hitter, batting in the 8th spot today for Waterloo Columbus. Blake Ettringer, 0 for 4 on the season so far. Has only taken 4 at-bats. First pitch misses, low and out of the zone for ball 1. Ettringer 0 for 1 in the day, grounded out to second base, back in the first inning. He was the last out of that first inning that the Sailors got 8 runners around, and that catches Ettringer in the back of the head as his helmet pops off. Holding and rubbing the back of his head. Hopefully he's going to be all right. Nonetheless, Ettringer will head down to first base, and he's going to be checked out by the athletic trainer here in Waterloo. Certainly anything up in the head area you want to take extra precautions with. Once we get this all sorted out, we'll have a runner on first base with 1 out as Ettringer will jog down to first base and gets a nice hand from this Waterloo Columbus crowd, as he'll be aboard over there at first base, and I believe he will remain in the ball game and run his own bases. It's good toughness from Ettringer to stay in the ball game. Luckily, it doesn't look like he was caught too bad by that pitch, as he's able to remain in the game as Nick Merrifield digs in. 1 on, 1 out. So that first pitch is going to miss for a ball. Not a bad spot from Klink, but it does miss. Merrifield's 1 for 1 in the day so far. He doubled on a line to right field earlier in the contest. That pitch just catches the strike zone. 1 ball, 1 strike. Merrifield led off the last inning back in the second with that line drive double. He later scored as part of that 3-run inning for Waterloo Columbus. Fouls that one back. Count now goes to 1-2. Ettringer aboard over at first base. One ball, 2 strikes. As they'll throw over to first base, and the ball gets away. Ettringer will take a look, and he's going to stay put over there at first base as the ball rolled well into foul territory, but not quite far enough for Ettringer to make a move. Count goes to 1-2. Here's the 1-2 pitch, and it's going to, looks like it caught Merrifield, but I think they're going to say it just missed. Nonetheless, it is a ball, and the count goes to 2-2. Pitch was very inside. Must have scraped right up against the jersey of Merrifield. Here's the 2-2 pitch. That one's also inside, not quite as inside, but does miss the strike zone for ball 3. So the count is full, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Ettringer, the runner, over at first base. 1 out here in the bottom of the 3rd. Ettringer is in motion. That one's driven out towards left center field. And the play is going to be made out there. Hyde makes the catch. Throw over to first. Ettringer was all the way over at second. He dives in safely. That ball gets away, but Ettringer will stay put there at first base. As we've got 2 away, Merrifield flies out to Hyde over in left field. And we're back to the top of the batting order for Waterloo Columbus. Digging in for the Sailors will be Thomas Steele. Sophomore is 1 for 1 on the day. Singled to the shortstop back in the 1st inning, and then he walked in his 2nd at-bat. Watches that first pitch, called strike. Throw over to first is not in time as Ettringer takes a couple steps, gets back in safely without having to dive in. No balls and a strike is the count on Steele. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be a called strike. Looked a bit outside, but umpire says it just caught the zone. Count moves to 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner at first base for Waterloo Columbus. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Reaches out for that one and sends it foul out of play. Count remains at 0-2. Klink gets a new ball from his catcher as that one goes out of play. He'll step on and look to attack Steele here with no balls, 2 strikes. Here's the 0-2. And that one's going to be a bit inside, but it is called for strike 3, and that will end the inning. Nothing going for the Sailors here. No runs, no hits, no errors from the Warriors. Score remains 7-1 as we head to the 4th. Stay tuned. You're listening to Waterloo Columbus Baseball on 1650 The Fan. It's the top of the 4th here in Waterloo. Sailors on top of the Wapsie Valley Warriors by a score of 7-1. Connor Knutson getting set to begin his 4th inning of work on the mound. So far in 3 innings, he's given up just 3 hits, 1 run, and it was unearned. 3 strikeouts, no walks. And now he'll begin the 4th inning as digging in for the Warriors is the shortstop, Justice Kelly. He's 0 for 1 so far in the day. Back in his first at-bat, he struck out swinging. First pitch of the inning. It's going to be reached at, over to Morrow at first base. Fields hustles over to first base himself and takes care of it for the unassisted 3 ground out. So first out of the side there on the ground out to Morrow at first base. And that'll bring out Trayton Sauerbry. Batting here with 1 away for Wapsie Valley. He'll square to bunt. Pulls back just in time, and it'll be called a ball. Sauerbry popped out into foul ground over there to Morrow at first base in his first at-bat. Watches that one and misses upstairs. 2 balls, no strikes is the count. Looks to lay down a bunt there, but it's going to go back for a foul ball. Count moves to 2-1. Sauerbry looking to bunt, and he is a pretty speedy kid. He was in the 4x1, 4x2, and the sprint med at state track last week. He'll put that one in play just over the head of Knutson. Gallagher will have to charge it, makes a tough throw over to first base. It is just in time. What a play by Carter Gallagher to get the speedy Trayton Sauerbry over there at first base for the first out of the side. Great play by Gallagher to save the runner from reaching. And we've got 2 away as the 7-hole hitter steps in for Wapsie Valley. That is Chase Ackerman. The freshman will dig in with 2 outs, nobody on base. Here's the first pitch. Holds back on the swing, and it's a ball. Ackerman went down on strikes in his first at-bat. Watches that first pitch miss for a ball. That pitch misses as well, so the count goes to 2-0. Here's the 2-0 delivery from Knutson. Swings through one out of the zone. 2 balls and a strike is now the count for Ackerman. Here's the 2-1. Gets a good piece of that one. It's past the outstretched glove of Underwood over at third base. And that will be a base hit. Nice piece of hitting there by Ackerman. He gets his first hit of the ball game. Hard ground ball into left field. 2-out base hit for the Warriors. That'll bring up the 8-hole hitter. Benton Hyde will dig in with 2 away and a runner on first. Hyde got a base hit his first time up today. Sent a line drive into center field. Watches that first pitch. It misses outside for a ball. Knutson's just gone past the 50 pitch mark these last few pitches. That was his 53rd right here. Knutson checks on Ackerman over at first base. Now focuses attention on the batter. There's the pitch. It's low and outside. It'll get away from Purdy. And Ackerman will take second base on the wild pitch. So now runner moves into scoring position. 2 balls, no strikes is the count. Here's the 2-0 pitch. That one's going to miss high, and the count moves to 3-0. Knutson at risk of losing Hyde here. Here's the 3-0. And that one is in there for a called strike. The count goes to 3-1. Ackerman is over there at second for the Warriors. Waterloo Columbus leads this one 7-1 here in the top of the 4th. That pitch is going to miss low. And there's a 2-out walk. Hyde makes his way over to first base. And we're going to have a timeout. We're going to have a conversation in the circle. Purdy makes his way in there as well. It'll be the 9-hole hitter due up for Wapsie Valley once this timeout is over. That is Keegan Brown. 0 for 1 so far today. He struck out swinging on his first at-bat. Brief conversation on the pitching mound is over, and Knutson will get set to face Brown here with 2 on and 2 outs in the top of the 4th. Brown will bat from the right side. Hyde and Ackerman are the base runners for Wapsie Valley. After the first 2 batters of the inning went down. Here's the first pitch. That one's going to be in there for a called strike. Good start from Knutson. Brown is a junior. Getting the start over at first base today for Wapsie Valley. Here's the pitch. Puts it in play. It's going to be fielded by Underwood over at third base. Wisely just steps on the bag, and that will retire the side. So a little 2-out trouble in that inning, but nothing comes across the scoreboard. It's 7-1 Waterloo Columbus as we head to the bottom of the 4th. Stay tuned. You're listening to Waterloo Columbus Baseball on 1650 The Fan. 7-1 is our score here in Waterloo. The Sailors on top of Wapsie Valley as we head to the bottom of the 4th. New pitcher into the ballgame for the Warriors as Justice Kelly will now be on the pitching mound. Kelly started the ballgame at shortstop and now will come into pitch. On the year, Kelly has made 1 pitching appearance, lasted just 1 inning, gave up 1 run. It was earned, and he had 1 strikeout in that brief appearance. He enters here in the bottom of the 4th, trailing Waterloo Columbus 7-1. The starting pitcher, Austin Klink, will stay in the ballgame. He'll just move over to Kelly's original position of shortstop, and the batting order will not change. Kelly will remain in the 5-hole, while Klink will still bat second for Wapsie Valley. It'll be 2, 3, and 4 to begin the inning for Waterloo Columbus. Miles Gardner will lead off. He'll be followed by Carter Gallagher and Connor Knutson. So no time to settle into the game for Justice Kelly. He'll be met with some of the best Sailor hitters they have to offer right away. Takes his 8th and final warm-up pitch. And the catcher, Latteberg, throws down, and we're going to resume play here in the bottom half of inning number 4. Sailors on top 7-1. So far in this ball game, they've scored 7 runs on 5 hits and 2 errors. The Warriors 1 run on 4 hits, 1 error so far in this contest. Miles Gardner, taking his 3rd plate appearance of the game so far, was hit by a pitch in the 1st inning, and then he singled on a line to right field in his 2nd at-bat of the ball game. 1 for 1 with the hit by pitch and the single. Chops the first pitch he sees and sends it foul. Count quickly goes to 0-1. In his limited work so far this year, Kelly has an ERA of 7.0, gave up 1 earned run in 1 inning. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Good job at Gardner there to hold up and let that one go by. Count goes to 1-1. Beautiful evening for baseball here in Waterloo. Couldn't ask for much better weather. So here comes the 1-1 pitch. It's going to miss low and out of the zone for ball 2. Here comes the 2-1 delivery from Kelly. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Good, healthy cut at that one for Miles Gardner, but he comes up empty. 2 balls and 2 strikes on the freshman slugger for the Sailors. Here's the 2-2. Gets a piece of that one, sends it foul down the 3rd base line, so he'll stay alive. Good fight by Gardner. One of a handful of players that started every game so far this season for the Sailors. Gardner starting in right field here tonight. That pitch is well inside. He's saying it hit him, but the umpire's telling him something else, so he will resume his at-bat. Count will move full. He will not head down to first base. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Gallagher is on deck for Waterloo Columbus. Knutson will follow him. As he puts that one in play, it'll stay fair off the glove of the 3rd baseman Ackerman. And he is going to hustle his way down there safely, and the throw was well over the head of Brown. He would have been safe either way. Nonetheless, hard ground ball over to 3rd base, and Gardner is aboard to lead off the inning. Carter Gallagher will dig in. Gallagher's 0 for 1 so far tonight. Here's the first pitch. Watches that one outside, but they're going to say it just caught the outside portion of the strike zone. That's a called strike 1. Gallagher struck out swinging and then was hit by a pitch last time. Here's the 0-1. Swings at it, and it's going to go foul. Gallagher's quickly fallen behind. No balls and 2 strikes here. Nobody out. Runner on first base for the Sailors. They lead at 7-1 in the bottom half of inning number 4.
It's a Memorial Weekend on Cruisin' KCFI.
Kelly checks on the runner over at first base. Now brings the attention back to Gallagher. Here's the pitch. There's a good piece of hitting by Gallagher. Sends a hard ground ball into right field. And he's got his first base hit of the contest. First 2 batters, I should say, of this inning reached. And the cleanup hitter, Connor Knutson, will have runners on first and second with nobody out here in the bottom of the 4th.
Get that foot down, level swing, let's go.
Carter Gallagher's at first base. Miles Gardner at second for the Sailors. Knutson digs in. Swings at the first pitch. High pop-up towards the foul line at first base, and the catch is made by Brown just to the right of the first base foul line. And we've got one away as Knutson pops out in the first pitch he sees. That'll bring up Caden Hartz. The left fielder is 1 for 2 so far in the game. Singled on a ground ball to short, and then flew out to center field in his 2 at-bats so far in this one. Still runners on first and second. Here's the pitch. That one's going to miss just out of the strike zone. 1 ball and no strikes. Rich digs in for the 1-0. With that one in play, it's going to be fielded over the field by Klink. They'll make a wise move to get the lead runner at third base, and Gardner is out advancing to third. And we've got 2 away. So Hartz will reach on the fielder's choice. Klink, the former pitcher, now playing shortstop, goes over to Ackerman at third base. Still runners on first and second, now 2 outs, as Patrick Underwood digs in for the Sailors. Here's the pitch. Puts it in play, but it will go foul down the third base line. No balls and a strike. Underwood struck out looking his first time up, and then he flew out to right field. 0 for 2 on the day. Hayden Hart's at first base. Carter Gallagher occupying second base for Waterloo Columbus. Patrick Underwood digs in for the 0-1 pitch. Here's the 0-1. Reaches out and gets a piece of it, but it's going to go well out of play for a foul ball. The count now moves to 0-2. 2 on, 2 out, then 2 strikes on Underwood. Here in inning number 4, 7-1 Sailor lead. Kelly comes set, goes to the plate. That pitch is going to miss well outside. Count moves to 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes is the count. Here's the pitch. That one's popped high into the air. It's going to go to shallow left field. Play is going to be made out there as Hyde makes the grab out there in left field. That will retire the side as nothing comes across for the Sailors in that inning despite the first 2 runners getting on. Our score remains 7-1 heading into the 5th. Stay tuned. You're listening to Waterloo Columbus Baseball on 1650 The Fan. The top of the 5th here in Waterloo, 7-1 Sailor lead on top of Wapsie Valley. Sailors put up 4 runs in the first inning, 3 in the second. Haven't scored since, but it's been more than enough to this point. Top half of inning number 5 about to get underway. Connor Knutson remains on the mound for Waterloo Columbus. And he'll face off against the top of the batting order for the Warriors. Schmitz, Klink, and Shore will bat here in the 5th. Kane Schmitz digs in for Wapsie Valley to begin this inning. Swings the first pitch, sends a high pop fly. It is going to just get out of play. Heads up over there just beyond the fence. That will be a foul ball. No balls and a strike on Schmitz. Here's the 1-2 delivery from Knutson. That one's going to bounce low out of the zone for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike is the count. Schmitz popped out to the shortstop his first at bat, then he singled on a ground ball over to shortstop. So 1 for 2 for the day. Gallagher better be ready over there at short with this batter up to bat. But he misses that one, swing and a miss for strike 2. Knutson has the count 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. That's going to be tipped back, foul ball. And the count will stay at 1-2. Schmitz stays alive in the at-bat. (7-1) advantage in the contest for the Sailors. Here's the pitch. There's a line drive. That'll get into the corner down there in left field. Schmitz takes the turn. He's heading for second. Arth is there, throws it back in, and that's a stand-up double to begin the inning. For Schmitz, he's safely aboard over there at second base. Got a really good piece of that baseball, sent it into the corner out there in left field. And Schmitz is aboard at second to begin the inning, as in steps Klink. Austin Klink batting in the 2-hole for Wapsie Valley. Started the game as the pitcher, now playing shortstop. He's 1 for 2 on the day so far. Got a line out to center and then grounded an infield single over to third. Puts that first one in play right back to Knutson. Now he's got Schmitz in a pickle. He'll throw back to second. Schmitz trying to run over to third base. Now he's going to try to run back to second. Now throws it over. Schmitz dives, not in time as he is out. As Klink grounds into a pickle. It started with Knutson on the mound. He threw over to Underwood. Gallagher got in on it. Several players touched the baseball. Ultimately, Schmitz out trying to retreat to second base. As Klink is aboard at first base. 1 away, and that will bring up Jacob Shore, the sophomore, batting with a runner on first. Swings at the first pitch, sends it back for a foul ball. Count is 0-1. No balls and a strike is the count. Here's the 0-1. That one's going to catch the zone, off-speed pitch. Placed perfectly by Connor Knutson. No balls and 2 strikes is the count. Link over at first base. They'll throw to him, and he dives back in safely. The 1-2's the count. Klink takes a healthy lead over at first base. They're going to throw back again. Dives in. It's close, but he is back in time. No balls and 2 strikes on Jacob Shore. Here's the 0-2. Now it's put into play. Gallagher will field it short. He'll turn throw to second. First out is made, and that's all they're going to get. Shore hustling down that third base line, but nice play by Gallagher to turn, quickly throw over to second base to get the lead runner. We've got 2 ways. That'll bring up the cleanup hitter, Tucker Latterberg, the catcher, batting 4th for Wapsie Valley. He'll dig in with 2-away and a runner on first. Was hit by pitch the first time and then grounded out to shortstop, so he's 0 for 1 in the day. He'll look to get the Wapsie Valley offense going here, trailing 7-1. First pitch just catches the zone for a strike. 2-away here in the top of the 5th. Sailors on top 7-1 over the Warriors. Here's the pitch. That pitch was going to miss outside for a ball. Count evens 1 ball, 1 strike. As the sophomore Latterberg will look to see if he can get Shore past first base so he can get the Wapsie Valley offense going. They've only managed 1 run so far. Warriors trailing 7-1 here in the top of the 5th. Here's the pitch. Runners in motion, but that ball is grounded for a foul ball. So Shore will have to go back to first base. Count is 1-2. Knutson's thrown 71 pitches so far in this contest. Been pretty good, only allowed the 1 run, and it was unearned. 1 ball and 2 strikes is the count. Here comes the 1-2. Swing and a miss, it's in the dirt. He'll have to throw over to first. Purdy makes a throw, and it is in time. And that will retire the side. Purdy throws over to Morrow to close off the inning. As we head to the bottom of the 5th, 7-1, Sailors on top. Stay tuned. You're listening to Waterloo Columbus Baseball on 1650 The Fan. Welcome back to Waterloo Columbus Catholic High School, where it's a 7-1 lead for the Sailors here in the bottom of the 5th. New pitcher into the ballgame for Wapsie Valley. That is the former third baseman Chase Ackerman, as he's getting his warm-up tosses in. His first pitching appearance of the year for the freshman, so not sure what we're going to see out of him, but his warm-up tosses have not looked too bad. So Ackerman will be on the mound. Justice Kelly just went 1 inning on the pitching mound, and now he'll move over to third base. Started the game at short, then pitched, and now he's playing third. Ackerman was at third base, and now he moves over to the pitcher's mound. Kelly just went to 1 inning. Gave up 2 hits, but no runs. So he kept him off the board, did his job. As there's the final warm-up pitch for Ackerman. Throw down from Latterberg, and we're going to resume play here in the bottom of the 5th. 7-8-9 go the Sailors here in this inning as Alex Purdy will step into the batter's box for Waterloo Columbus. Catcher is 1 for 2 on the day, singled to center field and then lined out to second. Hit it well last time, but right at Schmitz over there at second base. Swings the first pitch on a couple bounces over there to Klink. He'll throw over to first base. It is in time. Beats Purdy by a couple of steps. 1 pitch, 1 out for the new pitcher, Ackerman. As that'll bring up Ettringer. Or correction, looks like they will have Ettringer stay on the bench this time, and Eli Morrow will bat. Morrow started the game at first base, but was not playing the field, or was not going to bat, rather, was only playing the field, and now here in the 5th inning, he will step in and take his own cuts. Here with 1 away and nobody on in the 5th inning. First pitch misses for a ball. Second pitch is put in play over there to first base. A slow roller picked up, but it's mishandled, and Moore will reach first base on the air by the first baseman. Keegan Brown had some trouble with the slow roller over there to first base. And now we've got a runner on for the Sailors. That brings up the bottom of the order in the form of Nick Merrifield. So Sailors get something of a gift on that one, and we'll see if they can take advantage of it. First pitch misses for a ball. One and 0 the count on Merrifield. 1 for 2 so far today. That pitch is going to miss as well. Count moves to 2-0. Ackerman keeping an eye over there at first base on Morrow. Now he'll come to the plate. Morrow is in motion, and the pitch is dropped by Latterberg, the catcher. Morrow slides into second base, but he would have been there easily either way, as that ball got away from the catcher Latterberg. Now runner in scoring position for the Sailors, and it's a 3-0 count for Nick Merrifield. Here's the 3-0. That pitch is low in the dirt, and Merrifield will head down to first base. So the second and third batters of the inning reach. And now Thomas Steele, the leadoff hitter for the Sailors, will bat with 1 away and 2 runners on. Sailors leading this one 7-1 here in the bottom of the 5th. Steele 1 for 2 on the day so far. Here's the first pitch. That'll miss inside for a ball. So far Steele has singled to short. He walked and then he struck out looking in his 3 plate appearances. 1 ball, no strike, it's the count. Here's the 1-0. That one's going to catch the zone for a strike. Ackerman does get a strike in there to even the count. 1 ball, 1 strike. Merrifield at first, Morrow at second. 1 away here in the 5th. That pitch is driven out to left center. Play is going to be made by Hyde out there in left field, however, so nothing will come of the well-hit ball from Steele, and we've got 2 away. Ball was hit well, but directly at the left fielder, Hyde. And that'll bring up Miles Gardner. He's 2 for 2 so far today. Was hit by pitch to begin the contest, or his contest at least, at the plate. Then single to right field and single to third base. So he's got a pair of hits so far, and another hit could very well put the Sailors back on the board. There's a pretty good ball. Out towards left field. The Hyde is there, and he will make the grab to retire the side. So nothing going here in this inning for Waterloo Columbus. Score remains 7-1 as we go to the 6th. Stay tuned. You're listening to Waterloo Columbus Baseball on 1650 The Fan. We've played 5 full here in Waterloo. It's a 7-1 lead for the Waterloo Columbus Sailors, taking on the Wapsie Valley Warriors here tonight. Top of the 6th is here, and Connor Knutson is still on the mound for the Sailors. He's had quite the nice outing. He's given up just 1 run. It was unearned. He's looked very good. It'll be 5, 6, and 7 in the batting order for Wapsie Valley. And first up is Justice Kelly. Started the ball game at shortstop, then moved to the pitching mound, and now he's playing third base for the Warriors. He'll dig in to begin the 6th inning. Kelly's 0 for 2 so far today. Struck out swinging and then grounded out to the first baseman, Morrow. First pitch is in there for a called strike. Count goes to 0-1. Knutson's done a nice job of attacking that strike zone here tonight. That pitch will miss high and outside for ball 1. Evens the count up at 1-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That one's going to just miss. Umpire looked like he was about to give the indication for a strike, but instead it's going to be ball 2. Count goes to 2-1. There's a off-speed pitch high out of the zone for ball 3. Connor takes a deep breath and now delivers the 3-1 pitch. That one's going to catch the outside portion of the strike zone. Nice pitch there from Knutson. Count will go full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Justice Kelly, the batter. Here's the 3-2. Put in play right back to Knutson. It takes a funny hop. Throw is going to be not in time. And to begin the inning, got an infield hit there from Justice Kelly. As that ball took a funny hop on the mound, kind of went right between the legs of Connor Knutson. So first runner reach, and that'll bring up the 6-hole hitter for Wapsie Valley, Trayton Sauerbrei, playing center field today. He's 0 for 2, looking for his first hit of the contest. He'll look to lay down a bunt. It is going to roll foul, and it will just get fouled down that third base line. That will be a foul ball for Sauerbrei. Not surprised to see him looking to lay down a bunt. I touched on it last time he was up. He was very busy down at State Track in Des Moines last week. Was involved in the 4x1, 4x2, and sprint medley relays the Warriors brought down to Drake Stadium. I'm not surprised to see him looking to lay down a bunt and use his speed to get aboard. Here's the pitch. He will swing away at that one. Sends a little hopper over there to Underwood at third. He'll make a strong throw over to first. It is just in time. Beats him by about half a step. And we've got one away. Nice play by the third baseman, Patrick Underwood, to throw over and catch the speedy Trayton Sauerbrei. Digging in for Wapsie Valley, the former third baseman, now the current pitcher, Chase Ackerman, the freshman, digging in with one away and a runner on second. Swings the first pitch, high, pop up. It's going to go out of play into foul territory. Ackerman's 1 for 2 in the ball game so far. He struck out swinging and then sent a hard grounder into left field in his last at bat. Knutson will start his motion, but then turns around and takes a peek over there at Kelly at second. Kelly will quickly retreat. No balls and a strike is the count here on Ackerman. Here's the pitch. That one's going to miss high out of the zone. Evens the count up at 1-1. 7-1 lead here for the Sailors. They've put up 4 runs in the bottom of the first, 3 in the bottom of the second. And Wapsie Valley put up 1 in the top of the third. Our score has remained 7-1 ever since here in the top of the sixth. That pitch missed out of the zone in the dirt for a ball. 2 balls and a strike. Nice job by the catcher, Alex Purdy, to keep that one from getting to the backstop, keeping Kelly over there at second as opposed to getting up to third. That pitch will miss as well. 3 balls and a strike now for Knutson. He's up to 84 pitches in the ball game. Takes a deep breath, checks on Kelly at second. Now we'll focus on the batter. Here's the 3-1. Put into play out there to right field. And it's going to drop in foul ground. Great hustle by Eli Morrow, the first baseman, trying to track that one down in foul ground in shallow right field. It will drop. And with that, the count moves full. 3 balls and 2 strikes for the freshman, Chase Ackerman. Justice Kelly at second. We've got 1 out. 7-1 advantage for the Sailors. Here's the pitch. That will miss high and inside for ball 4. And Knutson, who's been good with his control so far today, does lose Ackerman there. Puts runners on first and second for Wapsie Valley. Just the 1 out here in the top of the 6th. And we're going to have the second conversation with Connor Knutson. It'll be Benton Hyde batting for Wapsie Valley after this conversation between Alex Purdy, Connor Knutson, and the Waterloo Columbus coach out there. The entire infield has now joined the coaches' meeting. But everybody heads back to their positions, and Knutson will stay on the mound. Been very good so far. 5 1/3 innings of 1-run baseball, and that 1 run was unearned. Pitch count is getting up there, though. He's got 86 so far. He can go as high as 110 before he will be forced to leave the ball game, or at least move to a different position. Can't stay on the pitching mound. First pitch is put in play. So it takes a high bounce and goes foul down the third baseline. Underwood was right there, but does go into foul territory. No balls and a strike on Benton Hyde. Ackerman's over at first base for Wapsie Valley. Kelly is at second base. Benton Hyde, the batter for the Warriors. No balls and a strike, the count, one away. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That one's watched, low in the dirt. Again, Purdy, nice job playing his position back there behind the plate. Keeps that ball in the dirt from going any further, and now throws a new baseball out there to Connor Knutson. A ball and a strike on the junior Hyde. Runners are in motion as Purdy will throw down to third base, but it's not in time. Great speed by Kelly to get down there quickly. Double steal was on, and both are safe. Pitch missed as well, so the count now is 2-1. Ackerman's at second and Kelly is at third base. Two in scoring position here for Benton Hyde. Here's the pitch. Puts that in play, but it's going to go into the backstop, into the fence for a foul ball. Now 2 strikes on him. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Knutson taking his time. Now will deliver. Starts his windup. Here's the pitch. That one's going to miss high out of the zone. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Count is full. Runners on second and third with 1 out. 7-1 advantage for Waterloo Columbus. Warriors trying to get back into it. Here comes the pitch, 3-2. And that one will just miss as well. And the bases are loaded as Hyde is safe at first. Ackerman at second, Kelly at third. And that brings up the bottom of the batting order for Wapsie Valley. The first baseman, Keegan Brown, will step in. 0 for 2 in the ball game so far. But does have 3 runners on the base paths. Watches the first pitch for a called strike. Brown struck out swinging the first time, and then he grounds into a fielder's choice over at third base. Looking for his first hit. This would be a heck of a time for him to get it, but he swings through that one for strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes. Brown entered the game batting .200 through the first 2 games, 1 for 5. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Watches that one right down the middle for a called strike 3. And that was a big out. Knutson can now get himself out of the inning with 1 pitch. As we've got 2 away, and that brings up the top of the batting order for Wapsie Valley. Kane Schmitz will dig in. 2 outs, bases are loaded. Here's the first pitch, and that will just miss for ball 1. Hyde's at first, Ackerman's at second, Kelly's at third, and Kane Schmitz is at the plate trying to get the Warriors back into the ballgame. Here's the pitch. That one's going to be called for a strike. Just caught the inside corner of the plate. Counts even at 1-1. Schmitz 2 for 3 on the ball game. As here comes the 1-1 delivery. Puts that one in play. High pop fly will get out of play down the right field line. Ends up in the street. Count moves to 1-2. Schmitz had base hits to shortstop and left field so far today. So left side of the infield better be ready. There's a weak little pop-up. Gallagher calls off everybody else, makes a little basket catch there just in front of the mound, and that will retire the side. The bases loaded threat with 1 out does not come to pass, and our score remains 7-1, heading to the bottom of the 6th. Stay tuned. You're listening to Waterloo Columbus Baseball on 1650 The Fan. We've reached the bottom of the 6th, the 7-1 score. Waterloo Columbus on top of Wapsie Valley. Warriors got the bases loaded with just 1 out in the last half inning, but Connor Knutson really locked in at that point, got a strikeout, and then got a weak pop-up that Carter Gallagher took care of over at shortstop. It will be Gallagher leading off the inning here in the bottom half of the 6th. Ackerman still on the mound. He came in to begin the 5th inning. He's beginning his 2nd inning of work here. Here's the first pitch. Weak little grounder chopped foul down the third baseline. Gallagher's 1 for 2 on the night. Struck out swinging, was hit by a pitch, and then sent a hard grounder into right field. Came in batting .500 through the first 6 games of the season. Waits for that one, sends a drive out towards left field. That is going to be fair ball, and he's rounding second, and he'll stay right there. Looked foul for a second, but ends up staying fair, and that's a monster double for Carter Gallagher. Gallagher will be playing his college baseball at Iowa Western next year. Quite the player the Sailors have, and he drives one well into left field there. He'll be aboard at second for the pitcher, Connor Knutson. 0 for 3 so far today. Has Gallagher over there at second base with nobody out. Here's the pitch. Watches that one low. Nice scoop back there behind the plate by Ladeberg. 1 ball, no strikes. Knutson has grounded into an error, into a fielder's choice, and he popped out so far today. Sends that one foul down the third baseline. Count goes to 1-1. One ball, 1 strike for Connor Knutson. Carter Gallagher aboard at second base. Here's the pitch from Ackerman. Swing and a miss. 4 strike 2. Now 2 strikes on Knutson. Entered the ball game batting .421 in the year, 8 of 19. 0 for 3 so far today. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. As Connor Knutson goes down on strikes for the first out of the side. That'll bring up the 5-hole hitter for Waterloo Columbus, the left fielder, Caden Hartz. Gallagher still over there at second base. Just the 1 out here in the bottom half of inning number 6. Here's the pitch. That one will just catch the strike zone. Umpire calls it a strike 1. Hartz 1 for 3 so far today. His first time up, he sent a ground ball over the shortstop and beat it out. It's also flown out to center field and grounded into a fielder's choice at short. There's a foul ball as the count moves to 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes for Caden Hartz. Ackerman comes set. Now he delivers. That one's going to miss well outside. Count moves to a ball and 2 strikes. Sailors still on top of the Warriors here in the bottom of the 6th. 7-1 is the score. 6-run cushion for Waterloo Columbus. Sailors played very well here so far tonight. That one's going to be chopped foul. Warriors will be down to their last 3 outs in the top of the 7th. Sailors looking to see if they can add some insurance to that lead. Ball and 2 strikes is the count. Here's the pitch. That is well outside. Again, nice job by Ladeberg back there to stretch out and get it from going to the backstop. Ladeberg, just a sophomore for the Warriors. He's done a really nice job here tonight behind the plate. Here's the 2-2 pitch. And that is going to catch Hartz. Got him right in the waist, and he will head down to first base. Looks like we may have a new pitcher here for Wapsie Valley as coach called timeout. Looks like we're going to have some trading of gloves, so it does appear we'll have a new pitcher. Ackerman is going to move over to first base, and a new player will enter the ball game to pitch. Trying to get a number on the new entry into the game. Correction, that is not a new player. Keegan Brown, the first baseman, will just switch over from first base to the pitcher's mound. And Keegan Brown, the freshman, or excuse me, the junior, will now be into the ball game. This is the 2nd appearance of the season for Keegan Brown. In his first appearance, he went 1 1/3 innings of scoreless baseball. ERA is 0. But now he'll try to get a couple outs here for the Warriors. Ackerman will remain in the ball game. He'll now play first base as the former first baseman Keegan Brown will pitch for Wapsie Valley. Brown is a left-hander, so we'll give a new look to the Waterloo Columbus hitters. Patrick Underwood will be up first. 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. 7-1 lead for the Sailors. Waterloo Columbus last season went 21-13, were third place in the North Iowa Cedar League East. Ended up ending their season in the 2A Sub-State quarterfinal against Waukon in the neutral site game at Jessup, 9-7. Very competitive ball game. 2-4 so far in this young season. They'll look to make that 3-4 here as they lead at 7-1 against Wapsie Valley. Piers Brown is ready to go. Umpire gives some instructions, and we'll resume the ball game here. Stepping into the plate will be Patrick Underwood, 0 for 3 on the day so far. A couple runners aboard, runners at first and second for Waterloo Columbus. Nobody holding on hearts over there at first. There's a drive. That one's going to be caught out there by Hyde, and that will be the second out of the side. Gallagher quickly hustles back to second base, and we've got 2 away. Not a bad cut there by Underwood, but it is caught by Hyde out in left field. He's been a busy player out there so far today. Now with 2 away, that'll bring up the catcher Alex Purdy batting from the left side. Little lefty-on-lefty matchup here between Brown and Purdy. That pitch misses low and outside in the dirt. Ball and no strikes. Purdy 1 for 3 so far in the day. His base hit came in his first at-bat, lined one to center field. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That one's put into play. It'll be fielded at first base. Ackerman going to be able to win the foot race back over there to first base, and that will retire the side. Waterloo Columbus on top 7-1. Last call coming up for Wapsie Valley as we head to the top of the 7th. Stay tuned. You're listening to Waterloo Columbus Baseball on 1650 The Fan. 7-1 lead here in Waterloo for the Sailors as they hold the 6-run advantage against Wapsie Valley. Bunch of new substitutions into the ball game. See if I've got them all. They've got Ben Howe playing second base. Connor Knutson is done for the day on the mound. He's now playing first base. Jake Bradley's entered the ball game. He's over at third base. In right field now entering the contest for Waterloo Columbus is Gavin Gallagher. And the new pitcher for the Sailors will be Aiden Hosh, freshman, making his second appearance of the season. His first appearance was a start. He lasted 5 innings. Couple of strikeouts, a couple of walks. ERA is at 2.8. Certainly not a bad outing at all for Hosh in his first pitching appearance of the season. He'll start this one in a very favorable situation. Knutson has left him off well. 7-1 advantage. Knutson gave up just the 1 run, and it was unearned. Very nice ball game for him. As Aiden Hosh will look to get the final 3 outs and end this contest for Waterloo Columbus. Wapsie Valley will bat 2, 3, and 4. It'll be Austin Klink to lead it off. He started the game pitching, and now he's the shortstop for Wapsie Valley. He'll dig in to begin the top of the 7th. First pitch is going to be laid down for a bump, but it rolls back foul. No balls and a strike. Austin Klink currently is in line for the loss in this ballgame in his first pitching appearance of the season. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That one gets away from Hosh. It'll get to the backstop. Nobody on base, so no harm done. Count will move to a ball and a strike. Bases are empty. Klink will dig in for the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. That's strike 2. Nice swing there from Klink, but he comes up empty. Took a hefty cut at that one. One ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. That one misses low and outside for ball 2. Count goes to 2 balls, 2 strikes. Sailors looking for the final 3 outs to clinch the win against the Warriors, currently leading 7-1. Here's the pitch from Hosh. Hosh gets Klink to reach out and foul that one back, so the count will stay 2-2. Klink's 1 for 3 so far today. Base hit came in his second at-bat and a hard ground ball over to third base. Beat out the infield single. Here's the 2-2. Off-speed pitch is sent into center field. Play is going to be made. Nice running play out there in center field. That was made by Steele. Just making sure they didn't substitute the center fielder. They did bring in a lot of substitutions, but Steele still out there in center field and makes a nice grab for the first out of the side. So 1 away, 2 outs left for Wapsie Valley, and that brings up Jacob Shore. Watches the first pitch, bounces in the dirt for a ball. Shore's 0 for 3 on the day, looking for his first hit of the contest. Grounded out, lined out, and then grounded out again. He's got a 1-0 count here with 1 away in the 7th. Here's the pitch. That one misses as well. Ball 2. Again, Aiden Hosh, the freshman, making just his second appearance on the pitching mound this season for the Sailors. ERA is at 2.8 after those first 5 innings of work. That pitch just misses for ball 3. 3-0 count now for Shore. We'll see if the hold sign is on, or the take sign, excuse me, or if he's going to be swinging away. Here's the 3-0. Swings away, sends a ground ball. Gallagher's there at short. Fields double clutches, makes a throw, but it's not in time. And that will be an infield single. Shore aboard at first base. Gallagher had some momentary trouble with that one. Kind of double clutched it, may have perhaps lost his grip. Wasn't feeling confident in his arm. Regardless, it was just enough for Shore to beat it out. That'll bring up Tucker Latteberg. Batting with a runner on first and 1 away here in the 7th. Watches the first pitch. It just misses. Count goes to 1-0. Latteberg's 0 for 2, was hit by a pitch in his first at-bat, then grounded out to short and was out at third on a drop third strike, or out at first, I should say. That pitch misses well. Throw over to first is not in time. Throw might have been there in time if it was handled right away by Knutson, but it got in the grass and Shore is able to dive back in safely. 2 balls, no strikes is the count. Hosh peeks on Shore over there at first base. Now comes set. Here's the pitch. That one swung on, shot backwards, foul as the count moves to 2-1. Two balls and a strike is the count. Latteberg trying to get his first hit of the contest. Entered play today, batting 167, 1 of 6 so far this young season. That pitch is going to be low. For a moment, Purdy thought he had lost it, but ended up being in his glove. Count moves to 3 balls and a strike. Hosh trying to avoid losing Latteberg here with the 3-1 count. Comes set. Here's the delivery. That one's chopped over to third base. Bradley can't backhand it, and they're going to say it's a fair ball. So everyone will be safe. Runners on first and second base. Ball over towards third base. Kind of took an awkward hop. Ended up in short left field. We've got runners on first and second for Wapsie Valley. Looks like we're going to have a courtesy runner over there at first base. Again, that'll be Manny Hubner, courtesy running for the catcher Latteberg. So Hubner's at first. We've got Shore at second base, and the batter is Justice Kelly. Kelly's been all over today in the field. Started at short, pitched for an inning, and then moved over to third base. Holds back on the first pitch, and it's a ball. Kelly 1 for 3 so far today. Had a base hit right back to the pitcher, Knutson at that point. Of course, now Hosh has entered the ball game as the pitcher. Here's the 1-0. That one's inside, but it's a called strike. Just caught the inside portion of the plate. Kelly thought it was going to hit him, moved out of the way, but the umpire calls a strike. Ball and a strike is the count. Runners on first and second. Sailors 2 outs away from moving to 3 and 4 on the season. Hosh comes home. That one's in the dirt, and everybody's going to move up. Runners were already in motion anyways. They'll be there, no problem, after that pitch gets away. So Shore moves up to third base. Hubner will advance to second. Now Justice Kelly's got 2 runners in scoring position with 1 away here in the 7th. Warriors trying to make the 7th inning a little bit interesting, trailing 7-1. Do have a couple in scoring position. Hosh comes set. Here's the pitch. It's going to be low in the dirt. That is ball 3. Hosh having some trouble with his command so far this inning. 3 balls and a strike is the count for Justice Kelly. Sailors 2 outs away here. A couple runners in scoring position for Wapsie Valley. Here's the 3-1. That one's chopped over to Gallagher at shortstop. Fields, that will score a run. Throws over to first base, and it is in time. So it will score a run, but it does also get the second out of the side. And now Wapsie Valley down to their final out. Carter Gallagher throws over to Connor Knutson for the second out of the side. That'll bring up Trayton Sauerbrey. 0 for 3 on the contest so far. He's got great speed down the baseline, so we'll see if anything ends up on the ground. First pitch is high out of the zone for a ball. Score is now 7-2 after the run came in to score on that last ground out. Here's the 1-0 delivery. That one's sent into the air. This could end the game. Steele is there. He's going to camp underneath of it, and that is going to do it. Catch is made out in center field by Steele, and that's going to retire the side. That will also end the ball game. Our final score, Waterloo Columbus 7, Wapsie Valley 2. The Sailors improved to 3-4 on the season, while the Warriors fall to 1-3. We're going to take a quick break. We'll add up all the numbers and wrap everything up when we return. Stay tuned. You're listening to Waterloo Columbus Baseball on 1650 The Fan. Welcome to the Waterloo Columbus Baseball postgame show here on 1650 The Fan. I'm David Warrington, and Waterloo Columbus just got their 3rd win of the season. They improved to 3-4 after taking down the Wapsie Valley Warriors by a final score of 7-2. Let's take a look at the final numbers in tonight's contest. First for the Warriors, they scored 2 runs on 8 hits, 2 errors. Waterloo Columbus Sailors came out on top. They scored 7 runs on 8 hits, also had 2 errors. Sailors left 9 runners on base. Wapsie Valley left 10. And the Warriors fall to Waterloo Columbus by the final of 7-2. Connor Knutson gets the win in on the mound for Waterloo Columbus. Quite the outing from him. He went 6 innings, gave up 6 hits, 1 run, was unearned, 3 walks and 5 strikeouts. Hosh finished it out. He went 1 inning, gave up 2 hits, a run. That was earned. Knutson, with the win, moves to 1-1 on the season. And looking at Wapsie Valley, Klink takes the loss on the mound. He went 3 innings, gave up 5 hits, 7 runs, 4 of which were earned, had a couple errors behind him, 1 walk and 3 strikeouts. This was his first start and first pitching appearance of the season, so he falls to 0-1 on the year. Taking a look at the big producers offensively for both sides, Kane Schmitz had the first extra base hit of the season, at least through the first 2 games. Third game that was played last night was not posted with statistics as of broadcast time, but as of what I have, that was the first extra base hit of the season for Wapsie Valley. Looking at Waterloo Columbus, both Nick Merrifield and Carter Gallagher managed a double. Those 2 having very nice seasons so far for the Sailors. Of course, Gallagher going to play his college baseball at Iowa Western next year, and Merrifield, just a freshman, having quite the young athletic career for Waterloo Columbus. Before we sign off tonight, of course, have to thank all of our great sponsors that make tonight's broadcast and all the broadcasts throughout the course of the summer possible. Got to give a big thank you to Community Buick GMC, Electronic Engineering, Air Services, CDFS Financial Strategies, and the Waterloo Columbus Booster Club. Be sure to support those to help support your local radio station, your local sports broadcasts, and your local businesses in the community. Thank you very much to everybody for choosing to tune in to tonight's broadcast of Waterloo Columbus Baseball here on 1650 The Fan. Had a great time bringing it to you here tonight. Look forward to doing so all summer long as we roll along here with the Waterloo Columbus baseball and softball schedule. Again, one more time, our final score here tonight, Sailors take down Wapsie Valley 7-2. For my producer, Angie Sturm, I'm David Warrington saying good night from Waterloo.